The biggest one and the easiest to see in the hotels result is obviously the commissions. Hotels are paying between 15% to 30% of all their hard-earned revenue to OTAs. And it's true that it gives you exposure and you get a little bit more eyes on your property. But if you've been scaling, if you've been building your brand, the trade-off, it's honestly not there. The second point is your brand gets really diluted in OTAs. You can only put pictures and a little bit of the copy, which nobody reads on OTAs. So the visitor, the guest, is not really learning about you. It's not getting the value you have, and your property is just a commodity. And usually people looking in OTAs are more focused on price. So it's a price battle at the end of the day. Third of all, and one of the most crucials in my opinion, is that you lose control over the journey since the guest books until they get to your property. So there's no way you can, there's a few workarounds, but usually there's no way to upgrade, to sell upgrades, to sell experiences, or to even invite them on a spa day or anything that's value add for the guest. There's no easy way to do it when you have OTAs in the middle. One thing that hoteliers do not realize when they think about direct bookings, let's say, for example, I book a room and for any reason that's a way of your own control, maybe the booking gets canceled or something gets mismatched. People are not gonna blame Booking.com, Expedia, or whoever it is. They're gonna blame your property. And in this case, it's actually not something that was created by you. And then maybe that becomes a bad review on Google, or it becomes a bad review even on the OTAs. And you get a few of those, and now you have a 3.5 star reviews on the OTA, and nobody's looking at your property once you get below 3.5. It's a big responsibility to give to a third party the control to actually interact with your customers. And of course, the volume they manage is huge. So it's not as personalized of a touch as hotels usually have. It doesn't make any sense to build your hotel on a rented real estate. Everybody owns the risk when they build a hotel. So it's the same for your website. It's your digital property, is what guests see first, and whatever in the website that's not working, you should be able to change it. You should be able to see what users are doing, like having analytics and session recordings. All of that is going to give you many tools, not only to improve your website, but also to improve the experience on your hotel. So not owning that, or having to wait for 2 weeks to make a copy change, or even not having integrated with the rest of your tech stack, or not being able to integrate with the rest of your tech stack, might be something that really undermines your business as a whole. And I think it takes so much power out of hoteliers, maybe because in the industry, nobody really knows who is managing the website. There's not like a role that, okay, this guy is the one who is improving the website, looking at analytics, looking at the direct bookings. But if you don't own the website, even though nobody in the hotel is managing it, you don't have that option, even if you wanted to put someone in charge. We come from a product background, so everything we do has a lot of testing involved and scientific method behind it, because there's so much things that are counterintuitive to what one might think changing the website might do for a hotel. For example, we had a client that they were pissed off with their website. They didn't like the design. It looked old, and everything was like, okay, we need to overhaul this completely, change everything. And honestly, the design looks really good to me, and it looks great, but it converted less for the first 3 months. Why, you ask me? My hypothesis and my idea is because the users of that platform were accustomed to the design, were accustomed to the journey. So changing it, even though we made it better, it had a period of accommodation and a period of relearning the platform. So whenever we make a change now, we compare it with the previous version. So 50% of the visitors go to the previous version and 50% go to the new version. That way we have a clear picture of which one of those is actually working better. And we can compare that with last year, so we don't have seasonality, we don't have anything that rolls around it, and we can have a clear conclusion on what works better. If you don't have that, you're just guessing. You might be able to look at how something impacts the bottom line if you just make the change and don't test it against the other. But this is the winning strategy. If you have the resources and if you have the team, you can probably do it, and it's going to be the best results you ever had on your website. If you don't own the website, forget about testing, forget about making quick changes. I don't know of any hotel website platform that does A/B testing, for example. So yeah, it's a big piece of the puzzle for us. This industry has thousands of different vendors and thousands of different tools, and it's sometimes even overwhelming when you walk in a trade show and there's so many people and they're all trying to help the hotels work better. However, sometimes it's difficult to integrate, I don't know, like a CRS to your website or communication system to your website. So if you get any inquiry, you cannot see on your PMS. Especially in this industry, I think it's crucial to be able to be flexible in that sense, to integrate to the best partner, not only the one that already has developed the integration that you want, because that's going to give you a competitive advantage against everyone else. You'll be able to move much faster, you'll be able to integrate with the best players, and you won't have any headaches where you have to manually sync your PMS with a WhatsApp or an iMessage. So it's going to make your life easier. It's going to make your staff life easier, and it's going to make the guests probably have a better stay at your place. A website that's not actually working or doesn't have a conversion rate. Let's say the conversion rate is 0.5. And after some work and some of these A/B tests and changing a few things, you might bump it up to 1%. And that's a huge impact on your bottom line. The guests are getting cheaper because you're converting more of them. And if you started to send more traffic and find ways to do campaigns or get your brand out, more people that are coming are going to end up booking a room. So it's something that over time it compounds every single month if you maintain that conversion rate. And even if you keep on improving it, it's absolutely game changing, and you're not paying the 30% to OTAs, you're getting cheaper guests. So that's the beauty of it.